Up.
With the new shepherd.
What with the new shepherd, yes.
Any motion sickness?
Any what? Motion sickness. Did you guys have motion sickness here yesterday? Eh? Did anybody vomit? Hands up for those who vomited last night. No hands, but you felt a little queasy, right? No? I got the variance of it. Some felt queasy, some didn't feel queasy. Okay? That's like a is that Cuisinart? Is that the same thing? So, I felt a little queasy last night. And it was the motion of the thing, and so I was reminded of how I felt when I. Let me go back. I presume you're interested in this story of me going into Spain, with which so it was an entire experience. It was like a chapter in my life, like it had a beginning, a middle, and an end. So just before COVID, about 3 years ago, I guess, a friend of mine, Jason Ehrlich, says to me, you know, they've got this thing called Blue Origin that's going to go up into space. And Bill, you should go up in space with the Blue. Oh, come on, Jason, I don't want to go get in that. Go out there, go up, and then I'm so comfortable at home here. Doing a cruise where you sit in a chair and you just talk to people. So, no, you gotta go. No, I'm not gonna do it. Well, as he said later, being a great producer, he didn't take no for an answer, and he calls Seattle and he talks to the Blue Origin people and says, Shatner, and they said, who? He said, William Shatner. Who? The guy the guy on Star Trek. No, they didn't do that. So they said, oh, well, that's an interesting idea. Come on up. So we go up to Seattle. Jason and I go up to Seattle. And we go into the Apple, to the offices of Amazon. Thank you. I can get it, then it leaves, and it comes back. Those of you over 50 know what I mean. It's there. It's getting it forward that is in there. And so we go into the Blue Origin building, the Amazon building, and there, 3 times the size of this theater is where you go, the apron of the building, like the lobby of the building. And in the center of the lobby is a big bubble of glass, and inside the bubble of glass is the Starship Enterprise. He had the original model of the Starship Enterprise. That's what I said. Wow, look at that. And then he came out, and we started talking and laughing. We got along so well, and we bonded immediately over this glass. What's that? He said, oh, that's the Starship Enterprise. And so we go into a conference room, and he's got a few people to help. And we talked to him about Shatner should go up in the thing. He said, well, that's an interesting idea. We'll think about it. We go home, and COVID hits, and a year goes by, and then we read that Jeff Bezos is going up first with his brother and a lady who's now a little older, and she's an astronaut, but she's not going to go into space, and a kid, and I don't know where the lady astronaut and the kid came from. The kid was like 17 or 18. So that's who's going to go up. There's 4 seats going to go up there. No, I said to Jason, yeah, see, I told you, no, I'm not going to go up there. So they go up and they come back down. And it was all right. Not a great deal of fuss was made, but so it was all over. So then Jason said, well, you can go up second. I said, that's like getting the vice president. when you want the president to come. I'm not going to go second. And then they call. And they said, "Does Shatner like to go up in the next lift?" I said, "No, I'm not going to go up there. Jason's second. I'm fine. I'm too much trouble." Now, I do a lot of my thinking lying in bed between sleep and wake in the morning. Like I think, I should. And I'm thinking, I've just written a book that says, say yes to opportunity. Say yes. So I'm thinking, I got to follow my own advice. So I said, yes, I'll go. Now, I had written along with a guy by the name of Robert Chernow and a guy by the name of Dan Miller. I had written some songs which we had sold to Republic Records, and they put out an album called Bill, and it's out there now on Spotify and all that kind of thing, and it got great reviews, like breathless album. Wow. So we had written many songs, and so we were like a songwriting team. So now I'm in New York City with Dan and Chernow and Robert Chernow, and I'm going tomorrow. Today is Sunday. Tomorrow I'm going out to the desert to go up into space. We should write a song about space. So yes, we start making notes at dinner on Sunday night about what would it be like and what's the thing. And one of the first phone calls I made when I came down was I called Robert and Dan. I said, everything we talked about going up in space has nothing to do with what we thought it is. Totally different. So Monday morning, I'm out at Van Horn, Texas. 20 miles outside of Van Horn, Texas, the middle of nothing. There's nothing there except a few, what do you call those aluminum, what? Air, those. So they had about half a dozen where the people coming would stay. Think about it, so non-glamorous. You're in an airspeed. You're in an airstream, and I'm there Monday morning, and nobody else is there except a few people who work. And I'm thinking, why am I here? Why am I here Monday and everybody's coming Tuesday? So mid-morning, somebody says, "Let's drive out to the gantry." Okay. Drive out to the gantry. Why am I here? So we drive out in one of those electric trucks that he's invested in. A Rivian. Great truck. Except those of us who know it, who know the function of a truck, like you're going to haul horses. You don't haul horses. They say 350 miles on a charge. No. If you're using air conditioning and you're pulling something, you got 200 miles on a charge. And then you got to find a place to charge it. And you got horses behind, so you're pulling something. You can't have a truck that goes 200 miles, and then you got to wait 2 hours for it to charge and make another. It just won't work. But it's a beautiful truck. So we take the truck, we drive out to the gantry. Now, the desert floor is about 4,000 feet high, which is about like Denver. So if those of you have landed in Denver or come from Denver, when you go to Denver, you get off the airplane, you're already sucking air in because it's 5,000 feet high. This is 4,000 feet, it's almost like Denver. So you're high, you're a mile high already. And then they're looking at the gantry, and they say, "Let's go up the gantry." Oh, okay, let's go up the gantry. So I go up 3 flights of the gantry, and I'm sucking in air, and I'm saying, "Wait a minute, let me look at the beauty of the desert," and go up another, and finally I get to the 11 flights, okay? Now I'm at the 11th flight, okay, and I'm looking at a room about the size of this stage, and the door to the room is open, and I see it's like about 12 inches thick, cement. And what's that for? They said, I don't know. What's it for? They said, well, it's a room in case something goes wrong. Oh. What do you mean in case something goes wrong? What could go wrong? I said, well, yeah, finally you just rush in there, and they got air, so you put the mask on and get electrical communication down there. So in case something goes wrong. Why am I here? I realized why I was there a day early. The reason why was to see if the old guy could get up 11 flights at 4,000 feet. That's why I was there on a Monday instead of a Tuesday, like everybody else was coming. Now I get back, and Tuesday we start rehearsing. By rehearsing, I mean there's this thing called weightlessness. You're going to face weightlessness, and you're in a chair that's like prostrate like this, and they got that to spread the G's, the gravitational forces that are going to be on you. So you're lying like that, and you have a 5-point harness. Now I've driven a lot of fast cars, and I know you get the shoulder, get the thing, get the weights, get the crotch strap, you get that, and then you have to get out of it in a hurry. You bang it like that, and everything falls apart. You jump out of the car. So I got the thing, and then the crotch strap. It's hard to find. You can't find where to. Really tough. So we rehearse that. They play some sounds like you're going to hear, but it turns out nothing like what you're going to hear, and that's the way we rehearsed it. Now it comes time to get in the ship. They didn't have the rocket up at that point until the day of the shoot. So it's like Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday, and now they bring the rocket out, and when we get to the rocket, it's bleeding a little gas. And so I passed by it and I said, what's that? And they said, well, it's hydrogen. It's hydrogen. Have you guys seen the documentaries on the Hindenburg? The Hindenburg was a lighter-than-air ship made in Germany, Zeppelin, that went back and forth from Germany to the United States to New Jersey, and it would dock like a boat. They'd have a docking thing, and maybe 100 people would make that cross the sea journey in a lighter-than-air ship. The Zeppelin, and the Hindenburg was the primary lighter-than-air ship, filled with hydrogen. And there's a documentary out there which became famous because it's burned in 1939, I think. So in all those years, this documentary, which I've seen many times, of this ship, now we know what happened. So the ship comes in, and they throw a line down, the line goes down, they tie it off like they would, we're on a ship. Like they would tie the ship off at docks, and people get off the gangway. So now it docks. What they didn't know then, which they found out later, was when they had the rope that tied it to the ground, static electricity went up the rope, and they had illuminized the whole surface of these bags of hydrogen. So way down at the far end, there was a leaky bag of hydrogen, and the static electricity and lit that, and the whole thing exploded in flame. And the documentary, those of you who've seen it, those of you who haven't, is this skeleton of this airship on fire, and people like this size are running away. And there was an announcer who now suddenly is faced with this burning Zeppelin, and he's saying, oh, the humanity of it all. He's crying. That's what I remember. When I'm seeing the hydrogen. God, they got hydrogen. They got that room in case something goes wrong. What is all that? So shut down. And the announcement over the loudspeaker says, all right, we're going to pull back the gantry now. Anybody who wants to get off should get off now. Swear to God, that's what he said. And I thought, okay. And then I thought, I can't, I'm Captain Kirk.